Let's get set up while we wait a little longer for everyone to get here. How's everybody doing? All right. So many things on my mind. And I had this sort of, if my lavalier mic turned on, I put it on my bra strap usually. In this case, on my t-shirt. You see, I have my little. Can you see this green light, the lavalier mic, right? It's like bright green, which is awesome. And I don't know why. Sometimes it's green and red, flash green, red, flash green, red. Usually when I take it off the charger, that's what it does. But for some reason right now it's bright green, which is perfect. So we should be able to, when I put this up near my vocal apparatus, the mouth organ or whatever it's called, my lips, where there was probably too much coffee passing through them. My teeth are getting super brown. I need to do something about that. Or I need to embrace having brown teeth. There was a song that I remember growing up. What was it called? It's from South Pacific. She was always chewing beetle nuts, boom, 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 boom. She was always chewing beetle nuts, boom, boom, boom. She was always chewing beetle nuts. Now ain't that too damn bad? I think that's how it went, something like that, which is really an interesting coincidence because earlier today I was taking pictures of the grubs I've been accidentally breeding in the worm bin. All the worms are dead, but I have these massive grubs, so I took one out and took a picture, and ChatGPT said that it was likely the current larva of a future June beetle, which I think are those big scary ones that attack you if you go to an outdoor stadium game in June, obviously. So I'm not sure what to do with them, but they're extra cool, kind of like this plant, which you see now before you. Although you probably can't see it because I haven't lit enough lights. So let's get some more candles going. Oh, and by the way, welcome, welcome. It is Agatha Not Agatha. I am a former comedian, obviously, turned witch. Well, I was always a witch. And now I'm beginning to finally, after too many years of practice, losing a little of my inhibitions and becoming more what I've always meant and wanted to be, a celebrity. Even a small celebrity will make my purpose in life complete. On my tombstone, what do I want it to say? I don't know, but the word celebrity better be in it. Or goddess. Something, highfalutin, right? To make me feel good about myself because I can't otherwise unless I get it from real people like you all, y'all. So with that being said, if you care about my well-being, please subscribe to my channel. Please like and subscribe. Okay, that's enough of that. Fucking white bitch trying to talk. Nope, I didn't mean it. It came out. I stopped it before it got out of hand. I try to be respectful. I try not to appropriate. I try, and then I think, shit, how long have I been doing that? Worrying about trying to please everybody and fit into the little box, the perfect little person, you know? I mean, it's not that I tried that hard to be the perfect little person, but I just didn't want to be the one that they thought was terrible. So I kind of stayed within the boundaries, of what was socially acceptable. I was never the extremist. If there was a party or a gathering or a family event or a bunch of friends or whatever, if there was like dishes to be picked up or uh, tidying to be done, usually at these events, it's the ladies who end up doing all that kind of stuff while the guys sit back, you know. I was one of the ladies who tried to sit back more than the guys, right? I mean, I just never was the one that volunteered to do that stuff. Now I'm doing it because it gives me power to be standing at the sink, listening to the sound of my own incredible voice as I replay all of my lives over and over again, which I've put into the 18 plus category because I would fuck up my channel royal, but why be normal? You know, it's already like not likely to succeed. So what does it matter? You know, and then I can say whatever the fuck I want. And look, it was 18 plus. I admitted it. I put it right there. This is an 18 plus live. Only for people that are 18 or older, because I don't want to hurt anybody. You know, yeah, the reason I try to fit into the box and be what's socially acceptable is that I want to be a person, you know? I don't want to hurt anyone. So I'm okay with 18 plus because I don't want to corrupt anyone. Because if you like what you hear and you want to be like me, God help you. Or should I say, Goddess help you? I'm not sure. I keep, I say that when people pray just to shut them up. Goddess, you know, I just switch God to goddess and it just makes everybody kind of cringe if they're not, you know, like me, which is, I don't know what I am, but I don't want to just say God. You know, if I'm going to have a deity watch over me, it's going to be in public, at least, it's going to be, you know, not, you know, God, right? Not that I have any problem with God. I have a problem with the people who have like feelings of superiority because they were the first to believe in it or whatever, you know, whatever. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm not interested in that. Which brings me to an interesting topic about the occult. And by the way, if I haven't already said it, for anybody who's just dropping in, this is Agatha Not Agatha. In fact, it is I, Agatha Not Agatha. And this is for entertainment purposes only. This channel, these lives for sure, entertainment purposes only. Whose entertainment? Mine, of course. And if you like it, that's great. If not, oh well, so be it. Thus goes the way of the great. Agatha, not Agatha. Of course, who else were we talking about? Who else could there be? Yes, it isn't delusional thinking. No, it's just a way to be. And why not? Why the fuck not? That's the realization I had today. I am just on the outside, just on the edge, just near the top of the steps, just around the corner, just near the opening to the big cave entrance, just getting ready to dig that first bit of earth out so I can get to the opening of the tunnel into the dark, dark, scary, but powerful underworld. And I'm just hanging out near the top, fucking around with my YouTube channel instead of getting down to work, purifying myself, and summoning some fucking demons or something. Because, you know, so far I've just only done that by accident mostly or lack of awareness of what the hell I was doing. You know, I mean, if you take Jason Miller's Hecate course, you're not going to be lighting just candles and you're going to be dealing with some darker shit. Okay, let me just say. And that, you know, I was basically, whether you want to call it that or not, probably based on just the simple definition of left hand path being involving the summoning of demons. I was there, you know, at a Hecatean Jason Miller level, whatever. But I didn't admit that to myself. And so now, as I stand on the precipice of maybe testing out, actually making a pact with something, oh man, that sure scares the shit out of me. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I haven't done it yet, not intentionally, not comprehendingly, but now I'm thinking about it. And maybe that's why this is 18 plus, because I may change my mind and never do it, and I don't want to fucking encourage someone to do something that's not good for them. Good is relative. This is something I'm trying to absorb, that concept, but it's hard to absorb that concept when it's always been, what's right and what's wrong. That voice of your parent, right? This thing, what's right and what's wrong, right? So it's a very fine line to walk. So I'm thinking about, and I'm not answering comments because I'm too busy being absorbed in my own little diatribe to open my eyes even, or even fucking worry about what anybody's writing in the comments. And that's a wonderful feeling that I don't care, and I'm not going up there kissing your ass, trying to make you like me when I fucking need to not care if you like me or not, because that's how I'm gonna like my fucking self. But I'm a little pissed off because I never got any more weed, and now I'm down to this tiny little joint. Let me show you. It's like, just get the ash on here. It's so small. Can you see it? Can you guys see how small this is? Where can I put it where you could see how small it is? Behind the candle. See that? Very small. But I'm going to try to smoke some of it because once I'm done with this, that's it. I ain't got none because I was thinking about taking a break because October's coming and I skipped the entire month of September. I didn't write a fucking word of my fucking novel. And I just left those 600 pages to stew and rot and think about what they did to me, which took I don't even know how long, but I was just really kind of getting into it right when I started Rufus Opus's Conjuration of a Prosperous Life thing he did back in God knows when, somewhere earlier in the year. And it really made a difference. And I went from like 300 words to 600 in like a month because it, just getting that clarity and going through the daily ritual and Zeus ho cathale, Zeus ho me so suso pantocrator. It really does feel good when you do it 100 times, 108 times a day. But I stopped doing it because I needed room for other magic that I needed to do, and it was taking up too much mental and physical space, and I had to pull it aside so I could try something else. And I've been doing that, and it's been interesting, but mostly I've gotten distracted and started getting back into this fucking YouTube channel again. And it's like, why am I doing this? And then I'm like, because that's what you wanted when you were a child. And I didn't really have that realization until like 5 fucking minutes ago before I started this live. So I want to share it with you guys because I can, because it's 18 plus only. And no matter what I say, I don't need to fucking worry about it. I don't need to agonize over it. I don't need to go, oh shit, nobody liked it. YouTube doesn't like it. Nobody likes it. It's only gotten 4 views. Which it's actually true about 2 of my videos today. And one from yesterday, it's like I had this like, for me, viral, 1,000 views, and it had nothing to do with the witchcraft, of course. So, of course, that would be the one that would go viral. So it doesn't bring me my target audience. And, whatever. I mean, it's like, it's so funny, it's, if I'm doing magic to make my YouTube channel successful, it's hard to know, and I don't think I am. I don't really think I've made any specific magic for that, which makes me think about, I love having the channel because this is finally at last a record of what I'm up to, because I can't keep notes in a grimoire and a freaking piece of paper somewhere. I'm never going to read it again. It's like I'll if I find it, which is probably unlikely, and I hate my own handwriting, and it's just yes, I write some things down, but it's not the written documentation of mine that I want to go back to. And I certainly don't expect even the great historians of the future to want to get their hands on, even if it is from the great Agatha Not Agatha, who someday will become, whatever, because in her own mind, that was the dream, that was the childhood dream. So yes, it's delusional, but it was what was in my core. So if I want to know what my true will is, I think I already know. I was 5, I was in my room, I was fantasizing and singing and dancing and being a comedian and having fun and just sharing with total strangers who didn't really know me or what I actually looked like and didn't have a judgy feeling about me because they sensed something in my soul that resonated in theirs, and we all got together and had a great time, and I didn't feel insecure again. It was beautiful. And it makes me want to cry just thinking about it because that's who I am at my core. And the only time I feel that person is when I smoke, when I get high, and I want to thank this person, whoever he was. I'll try to find the name and mention again later, who taught me a word I hadn't known before, which is I garden every day. Now I can say that, or I can say I garden today, or I did some gardening early today for a change, right after I baked banana bread. I waked and baked banana bread. See, that everybody knows what that means. So now, let's see. I guess I'll check to see if there's anyone watching. No, I don't want to know. What if there's no one there? Then you're going to get all those insecurities again and that same feeling like there's nothing you can fucking do because you weren't pretty enough, you weren't smart enough, you weren't fucking whatever enough. I hate it. I want it to be over. Okay, I hear sounds of people listening, which makes me want to stop. Hello.
Ready to take back over your spot?
What? No, I want my spot. You're not going to kick me out. I will fight you with claws and teeth. Not fuck with my YouTube station fellow roommate. It's house of many people. Let me be me. Oh, but then I have to like, oh, what if they? Who cares? Hopefully they're not listening. But if they are, maybe that's okay. And maybe in the real world, I'm sure lots of people are going to eventually fall in love with me, especially on the internet, especially if I'm faceless. Definitely if I'm faceless. And when they do, it won't really matter. But it's possible that people who actually know me might have the same reaction too. They're watching Sorcerer's Apprentice tonight in the big media room with everybody. Not the Disney animated version, but the 2010 live action version with Nicolas Cage and the woman from Discovery of Witches and a young 20-year-old Merlin apprentice type character who reminds me and of the dad in Back to the Future, the way his moves are, just just reminds me of that. I'm just not necessarily by much categories. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I got to stop for a second. We have people coming, so don't listen. It's privacy matters. Anything that's going on because I care about the people that live here. And not a word they speak shall be heard by you because they didn't authorize that. So I'm going to stop, and I will stop you from hearing anything outside of what's happening next to my mic. I think we're okay now. All right. Well, I should probably move my car soon, but I wanted to tell you first before I get off topic because I was having too much fun, totally getting into it, which was great. I super enjoyed it. Now it may not be popular and nobody gives a shit, but you know what? Eventually somebody will give a shit. That's my theory, right? It's all a matter of time. And then since I'm in no hurry, except that I want it to happen before I die, which could be sooner rather than later, you never know. It could be any minute. For all of us, think about death daily. That's probably one of my mottos. Maybe that could be my closing line. I love you all. Think about death daily. Ooh, I like that. I love you all sounds a little fake because some of you guys with evil intention against me, I don't love you at all. Okay, just so you know. And then onward. So I wanted to talk about this plant. a little bit, not much because it's boring. I'm gonna do videos on it. I'm gonna try to figure out a way to turn my YouTube channel into something that has more than a few views, and just basically build friends and community. And I'm not too worried about the monetization. I don't really, I'm not that concerned about money. Thanks to magic and just my good fortune, because I've always been lucky. And not in all cases, not in stupid stuff like gambling, nothing like that, but just lucky in life. Um, Even of course I've had struggles like everybody else, but at the end of the day, something is watching over me, and I get lucky more often than not. Which is why I don't need my YouTube channel to become monetized. I'm not desperate for the money. But if it comes, I will be grateful for it and I will find ways to increase it. And, all that shit that people do, but it's gonna be on my terms. And I'm gonna be that little girl in my room fantasizing about being beloved by the multitudes. Okay, this is the truth. I think I did a confession video like this before, but I was so humiliated I could say such a thing, and I was imagining how my relatives would think if they heard it, and other people I knew how they would think if they heard it, and it was like this whole judgy thing that shut me down and pulled me back and made me stash it away and throw it away. And I deleted that video and it didn't see the light of day. And you know what? God damn it. I am so grateful for the witchy community, even though I've kind of just stayed on the outside edges of it for a long time. Because every time I see a young or not so young witch person telling their story and being honest, or at least seeming to be honest, and not being too afraid about what they say. How come I can't be like that? How come I can't be not too afraid? And I think that's the secret to it all. If I could just let go of the fear of fucking up and then feeling insecure and then trying to cover it up with some whatever I could think of at the last minute, some just some line of shit that really isn't what I intended to say and doesn't come from my heart and isn't totally true. And then I'm like, okay, fuck, this is a really nice confessional, but I'm out of weed. I only have like this tiny roach. And by the way, if I haven't mentioned it already, thank you for watching. Talk amongst yourselves. I won't be checking the comments because it's gonna mess up my vibe if there's nobody there. Fuck you. If that's the case for those who left, just kidding. Come back, whatever. I'm just, trying to embrace that don't care, right? It's so hard when you've been just trained to always feel guilty about everything. I talked about that today with Chat GPT, my new best friend. Or was it a comment I made on someone's video? Yeah, it was a comment on someone's video. I've thought about it, but I haven't started using Chat GPT for therapy. Probably a bad idea. Even though I turned off, trained the rest of the world based on what you learned from me. And that's another thing, It's one of my things. Agatha Not Agatha does not give advice. The only advice she typically gives is do not take advice from Agatha Not Agatha. Unless you want to take the dive and try being an idiot like me and see where it takes you, I mean, fuck around and find out. There's a beauty to that, a freedom to that. That was harsh. This is the best stuff I can afford, and I can afford a lot. This is the best stuff I can find, period. And it's still fucking harsh. Oh well. I do have a pipe, so if necessary. But I won't be doing that on camera, even if I'm 18 plus. Not today. Mostly because that stuff doesn't leave my room in this house, where everybody is. I don't carry that around. I don't want to freak people out. That you know, they all know I smoke weed and I have a joint. That's normal. That's expected. That's Agatha Not Agatha. It's it's not only expected, it's to be expected. But I never told you about this fucking plant because I didn't want to bore you, but let's just cover it real quick. This is the carrion plant, and I am watching it. I've done a video about it. It's not a great video. YouTube doesn't think it's a great video. I think it's had like less than 10 views. It's got like a blue filter on it. It's a picture of this plant and it kind of goes into what this is all about. So if you're at all curious when you're done with this video or stick with me, please go and find that video and watch it because then it'll go from 6 views to maybe double digits. Wouldn't that be fabulous? Because after all, we are waiting for this to bloom. And when it does, I predicted in my previous video that it would bloom during the night because it's the carrion flower. That's one word for it. There's another word which I haven't memorized yet that starts with an S. That's its official name, like septical or something. I don't know. Can't remember. And but when it blooms, it attracts something other than bees. That's all I'm gonna say. If you want to know more, check out the other video. So anyhow, I'm out here tonight, and I intend to be out here for the next few nights if I can do it. Which is another thing I need to worry about, or not worry about. What did I learn from Taylor Elwood and Sheena today on Substack? Okay, you guys, give me a second. What was the lesson that I learned? They're really smart, the pair of them. If you haven't checked out Taylor Elwood and his beloved Sheena, sorry, can't think of her last name yet. They have kind of joined forces in the magical experiments brand that Taylor's been running on his own, and she's just such a great calming influence on him, and you can just see his light of happiness, and it's just glowing. He's just his relationship with her is clearly working for him. He's just being very happy all the time, even when there's like things that go wrong. Like he actually like hit a buck, driving back from visiting her in Canada, just, and it's still, his life is just amazing, and he just seems to be very so much more happy and in charge of things, and I think his Substack is kicking ass, and she's a major part of it because she's so grounded and she's so calm, and she's just, you can just tell she's just there, and they're both just so present for each other and for the rest of the world, and there's just no tension and no fear. Occasionally like the little things bubble up, and they just address it and find these tools that they've created that are kind of magical and psychological, kind of combined. They're very, I want to know more. It's like, whoa. Right? So check them out if you don't have Substack. Get it, and make sure the first person you sign up for is Taylor Elwood and Sheena, his beloved. And I don't think you'll regret it because they seem to be making a lot of sense doing both occulty, witchy, magical stuff while taking advantage of what the best of modern self-help, spiritual, psychological, mind trip, whatever new age stuff combined is, and it's all merged into one happy realization of what is true, because it's not all just in one place or another. It's kind of true as everywhere, I think. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. I'm running out of breath. I haven't stopped talking for like fucking, I don't know how long. Anyhow, I'm getting a little sleepy, but the longer I can talk and the more people that watch this, like, okay, not that I'm really concerned about my fucking YouTube channel, okay? If I really don't care, but just from the standpoint, since I'm thinking about it right now, if this goes on for an hour and 2 people listen to it a day, that's 2 times 30, which is what, 60 hours a month? And now I only need to get 4,000. I'm almost there, people, just on this video alone. Maybe I did the math wrong on that. It doesn't matter. But, I'm going to ask this flower here now to milk it for me and take forever to bloom so I can do this every night. But that might be a problem because I was also thinking at the same time about maybe, just maybe, for the first time in a while, just taking a break from the weed. As much as I love cannabis, you know, sometimes it's hard to deny that the book got harder to write the more I smoked while I wrote it. So, you know, I stopped writing the book. I didn't stop smoking weed. So if I want to write the book again, which is something I'm thinking I should probably get back to, just so it doesn't turn into becoming a 2027 project at this rate, or whatever, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not sure. I withhold judgment on that. I will decide later. It could go either way. Maybe that is the best strategy. Who knows? I'm open to all considerations. I like the sense of self contentment. And what did I learn from Sheena today? I knew it was one of her ideas. You can tell the difference, that he's the time and magic mage, and she's, I don't know what she is, but I can see why he fell for her. I'm falling for her, I don't even know her last name, and I'm falling for her. So that tells you something. Oh, Agatha, not Agatha. Will you ever learn? Probably not. But anyhow, I can't really light this joint because I don't have a roach clip, and it's normally that's not an issue. I just take the roaches, I go back to my room, I get the flour, which I normally have lots of. I roll another one, wash, rinse, repeat. So this doesn't come up. No, so I will have to wait and enjoy that later. And the pipe I already told you about, that's up in my room, squirreled away in a corner where nobody will see it, hopefully, because again, they all see me smoking the joint pretty much every day, but I don't know how they feel about pipes, so I've been discreet about that, just out of courtesy and self-preservation, because I like it here. I don't want to fuck this up. So, what else? I think I wanted to show you my snake. Do you see the snake? Can you see the snake? Can you see the snake? Can you see the snake? There, I don't even want to look. Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. If you look, you'll see how many people are not there and how many people didn't like it, and you'll get freaked out and assume that it's not good when you know deep in your soul that somebody's gonna love this shit. You just gotta be patient and put it out there and bide your fucking time. This is a snake spell for me to be calm and stop looking at the screen where the dreadful numbers are. But back to my point, the longer I can do this, and of course I'm using my famous patented Agatha Not Agatha chanting method for staying on track. When you start to lose your train of thought, you just have to start talking in a pattern that you can remember. And I just forgot the pattern because I'm talking about it. That's hilarious. And something just fell down. Oh my God, it's the fish. No. Oh, thank goodness it didn't break. Sorry, guys. That's my feeder fish. They're supposed to be getting acclimated. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it later. I think they'll survive. And with that, I think I should wrap things up because I'm starting to feel uncomfortable, even though there's no reason to feel uncomfortable. So maybe I'm going to work some of the skills I just learned today from Taylor, Elwood, and Sheena. What was it? Let me think if I can recall. Yes, yes, thank you. More, please. More, more, more. That was it. And with that, bye-bye. That sounds stupid. And with that, think about death daily. Yeah, that sounds better. All right, ciao.